Good morning, everybody. Hope we're all right. Just trying to get everybody on live. Hope we're okay. We're all right with the light behind me. Whoops, forgot Facebook. Good morning, everybody. Hope we're all okay. Welcome to Baby Play Monday. Just trying to get us all in. Good morning. Good morning, guys. Hope you're okay. Good morning. Welcome. Good morning. Hope everybody's okay. Come on, Facebook. It seems to take Facebook a little bit longer to be ready. How are we all? Everyone okay today? Oh, another hot Monday. I hope you're all right with your babies. I hope have they been sleeping in the heat? I hope we're all okay. I'm going to get started in just one moment. We'll just let everybody realise that I'm on, because I think I was a minute late or so. Hope you're all okay, everybody. So this morning I have got Instagram, Facebook and YouTube going at the same time. So I look a little bit like the Matrix this morning with lots of screens in front of me. Good morning, brew in hand and toddler napping. You are winning at live. Amazing. 4-year-old at preschool, 13-month-old asleep. Wow. It does seem to land, the 10 o'clock session does seem to land at nap time, so that's good. Both poorly with tummy bugs. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone's sending their love. Sorry, guys. Right, come on, Facebook. Who's on Facebook this morning? No one's giving me a wave yet. Let's see who's there. And then we're going to get started. Okay. Winning. Glad you're winning. Good start to the week if you're winning on a Monday morning, isn't it? Let's hope it stays like that. But doesn't matter if it doesn't. Okay, right. We're going to get started this morning. So I gave you the option. This week I'm letting you choose what is being featured in my... Good morning, Jennifer. I'm letting you choose what is being featured in my lives this week, because it's nice that if it's something that you actually want to hear about, rather than me just talking for the sake of it. So as it's Baby Play Monday, I gave you the choice yesterday of doing story time with babies or hide and seek. It was going to be a little hide and seek game. That's fine. We can do hide and seek another time, because it was very close actually, but it was story that time that people wanted for me to feature today. So that's absolutely fine. So I've got a few ideas and strategies for reading with your baby. I've got my lovely little baby Jack with me today, and we can get started. So I'm going to have a quick gulp of tea. And let's get going. All right, so the reason why I chose to, as one of the options a story time, I get a lot of questions from parents saying, is it too early to start playing with my newborn? It is never too early to start playing with your newborn, just like it's never too early. Yes, Mason does like Jack. He does like Jack. Not played with Jack for a while, in and out of popularity, but he does like Jack. So yeah, just like you can start playing with your newborn baby from early on with lots of simple games. But also, oh, don't worry about the angry face. I get lots of children accidentally pressing emojis and all sorts of messages. Don't worry about that. It's also really great to start reading to your baby as well from as early as possible. Of course, don't put pressure on yourself. There's enough to do, isn't there, in those newborn days, as there is any days. But yeah, just if you can, it is great to start reading with your baby. There are loads of benefits for it, and I'll talk about those in a moment. So reading with our baby is one of the favorite things I like to do, just because there are quite a few different ways that you can do it, and I've got a few simple books that you can see. So there is a reason why, I'm sure you've all seen these, the Usborne That's Not My Puppy books. They are popular because they really are good. And the best bit about it, the reason why people like them, is that the pictures are clear, they're really simple, they're really clear, and they're really bold. They've also got feely patches on them, on all the pages. They've got lots of feely bits. But also, one of the main bits regarding language is the repetition. I know for us as parents, you can read these 100 times and you get a little bit sick of them. But because they repeat themselves, it's repeating that language. And what you'll find is when you're reading it, you get into a pattern. Your voice, it's almost like a song. You get like a rhythm going when you read it. And your babies pick up on that rhythm. Good morning. I know it's all backwards. I'm afraid that's the way lives work. They're always backwards. But That's not my puppy. It's just the way it does it for some reason on these. Yeah, the husband ones are really brilliant to use, really helpful and lovely to start with your babies. And again, like I said, it's the repetition that's really fantastic. So a few of the books that I've got today, it's the repetition that we really like, and that's why they become popular stories, because eventually your baby will be able to, when they're speaking, they will be able to join in, and they'll be hearing the language, and they'll get to know, and they also get to that point where they know what's coming next. You know, if you read a story enough times, they know what's coming next. And they can also start to make predictions, which is all amazing skills for reading with your baby, but also for when they are a little bit older and they start storytelling and reading for themselves. Being able to predict and copy the language is fantastic. So we've got my little baby here. Jackie's going to join us today. And so first of all, one of the main ways that you can read with your baby, particularly if your baby is a newborn and of course not holding up their heads just yet, is having them in the rugby ball position, and then you can read to them like this. And then what's lovely is that they're nice and close. You're holding them close to your chest, and what's really lovely is that they are able to feel the vibrations on your chest. They're able to hear your voice, but also you can talk in different tones. So it's really important to really quietly, whisper to your baby and use lots of different voices. So you don't need to be loud. If you hold your baby close, you can whisper to them, and you're also very close for keeping eye contact with your baby. If you remember when babies are first born, they are not able to see long distances, they're still short distance, and they want to see your face. They will begin to recognize your face. So you want to be nice and close when you hold your baby, and you can start to read it like this. And it's a really simple way, so they're able to turn their head and look at the pictures, as well as talk and use your voice. What age are these? Too simple for a 2-year-old? No, fantastic. These are fantastic for a 2-year-old. You should keep them out. I have them all in the playroom because they're the kind of books, because they learn them off by heart, they pick them up, and Mason will sit and read this, or attempt to read it, think he's reading it. He's 3.5, and it's brilliant because he thinks he's reading. He's got that, it's like a positive, he's got that confidence that I can read this book, I can pick it up and I can read it. Doesn't matter, he can't actually tell you what the words say, but he knows what's happening in the book, and he is able to turn the pages and he's able to read it. So I would keep these. So once you've bought them, definitely keep using them all the way up until them starting school, because it's all that you're trying to encourage your child to have a positive relationship with books and with reading, and we want to instill that confidence. So later when they are learning to read and they are coming across words that they don't know, they've got those skills of looking at the pictures to make a really good guess, or they're able to make predictions of what's going to happen next. It's all those sort of skills. So definitely keep them in. Doesn't matter what age for them. All right, I hope that helps. So hold your baby nice and close, and that's one of the ways to do it. Then there's another way that I really like, is by having your baby, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Having your baby this way and reading your book on your chest. So your baby is able to look at your face, and is also able to look at the books. They may be a little bit older and able to hold their head up. If not, you sit further back and stand your baby up. So really nice one when you're in bed, maybe if you're in bed in the morning or just after a nap time or getting ready for bed, something like that. Lovely in the bed, on the sofa, anything like that, is sitting your baby up. So keeping your baby up, sitting like, and then they're able to look at your face, and they're also able to look at the stories. And this is when it helps, when you're able to, I'm going to come on to it in a moment. Someone's saying about how to keep your baby's interest. I'll come on to that one in a moment. All right. I'll come back to that in a minute. Yeah, it's good to have a grabber. Don't worry. Yeah, they will grab for the pages. As they get older, they'll go to grab for them. So don't worry, I'll cover that in a moment. So you've got your baby sitting up, and they're looking at you, and they're looking at the story. And this is when it's brilliant to have a book that you know off by heart, or you can predict it and you can make it up as you go along, because then you're able to keep eye contact with your baby, and you're not having to turn away to read it. You're able to keep looking at your baby and have a rough guess. You know, it doesn't matter if it's not exactly right, but read it, and you can read it to them, and you're maintaining eye contact, which is all fabulous for all that bonding, and for them growing the bond and then getting to see your face. That's what they want to see, is your face as well as the pictures. So they might not be following the story at a really young age, and that's fine. It's all about giving them lots and lots of language, a really rich language, and it's also part of the bonding. It's also part of the holding them close, getting snuggly, knowing that when you're holding close and you get tucked into bed, they know it's going to be story time, and it's just getting into that sort of that pattern. I'm just gonna have a gulp of tea. Sorry, gosh, it's hot today. And then there's another way that I like to read with babies. I'm hoping that you can see. And that's by having your baby on the floor, or it's hard to see because of the comments, but having the baby on the floor in front of you and having the book above their head. So again, you could be reading the story. It's not essential that they see the pictures, not every time. It's that they have a story above their head. You can read the book, but you can tell it face to face. And that's when it's handy, again, if you know it. Sorry, I'm just reading on here. Sorry, I'm just reading all the comments, just saying about turning the pages. So have the book above the head, and then you're able to turn the pages and read the story to your child. It's all, again, about reading the story, repetitive language, all that sort of stuff. But again, you're nice and close with your baby, good eye contact. And at this point, because your baby's laid down, as you're telling the story, you can do little actions with your hands. You can stimulate their body. You could tickle their toes while you're reading. You could be holding their hands, rubbing their cheeks, rubbing their head, giving lots of kisses as you do your story, which is absolutely fine and just all really lovely. So it's a really intimate time with your baby, and it can be really, really precious. So that's that one, and that's using the Usborne ones. And there's also books, you may have seen ones like this, where they're the soft material ones, nice and scrunchy, great for having when you're out and about in the pram. You can tie it to the pram and do like little stories. And then if you are sat in a cafe and trying to keep them busy, you've got something to read. This is another favourite of mine, and again, because it encourages lots of kissing, lots of affection, lots of repetition again. And this is 10 Little Fingers and 10 Little Toes by Helen Oxenbury. And it's a really lovely story. There was one little baby who was born far away, and another who was born on the very next day. And both of these babies, as everyone knows, have 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. And so you can count the toes, you can open out their hands, open them out, you can count the little fingers, touch the little fingers one at a time, stimulate all the senses on their fingers, pull out their fingers, give their hands a little kiss, give the palm of their hands a little kiss, and it's really affectionate. And again, then you do the same, 10 little fingers, do the 10 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 10 little toes, and have their feet up, give them a little rub, stimulate the bottoms of their feet, give their toes a little wiggle, and you can play with them like that way. So that is one of the favourite books of mine, and it goes all the way through. And again, it's lovely repetition, and it goes through and it always repeats. So 10 little fingers, 10 little toes, and then it ends with 10 little toes and 3 little kisses on the tip of his nose. So it's just a really lovely book, nice big board book as well with clear pictures. So I've always loved that one, and I always say with baby books, this is a really nice one to do. Now, I'm also a big fan of this is not an ad, I just love them, the Jane Foster books. Jane Foster does fantastic books, really nice one. Sadly, I didn't discover Jane Foster while my little boy was a baby, although I certainly would have had the collection. I only discovered her recently, and I bought the London one when I was doing the London topic. But as you can see, the pictures are so bold and clear, and they've just got simple words on, simple pictures, and they're really lovely. So again, while your baby, their eyesight's developing, then you can hold it nice and close, and you can read it together and have a look like that. And I was also going to say, even though it just lists lots of different words, there's no reason why you can't make the sounds, why you can't make up your own little story. And there's lots of research saying that particularly books with simple words or no words at all are fantastic to use, because actually you find that you use more language, you will introduce more language to your baby than when you have a book with words, because more often than not you stick to the story. So by having one without the words or with just simple words, more likely than not, you're going to make more noises, you're going to talk about the colours, you're going to talk about what you see, which is a really great way of getting lots of language in. And again, you can have loads of fun with it, making silly noises and that sort of stuff, and getting your baby involved. I have also forgotten, I was going to talk to you again, like I said, about it's handy to know books off by heart or know simple stories off by heart and songs and things like that, so that you can, as you're telling them, you can tell the story without needing a book at all, and that's great. Or what is lovely is, again, having your baby propped up on your knee and looking at a mirror, having a mirror in front of you, sitting in front of the mirror in your bedroom or wherever you are in the house. If you've got a mirror near the floor, sitting in front of a mirror and telling the story to the baby in the reflection, and they'll be giggling away and you can read it, and you'll still keep an eye contact, but and sit quite close while your baby's quite young, and you can always move further away. But that's a really nice one. So then some people are just asking me about, it is tricky when they are page grabbers, and that's why ideally the board books are easier because they're much harder for them to rip. But there are times when they will grab the pages and try and rip them. So what you can do is put something in their hands so that while you're reading the book and turning the pages, they've actually got something occupying them. So first of all is having some sort of little puppet that they can hold. I've got a little star. I got this one. There's a little company, the Puppet Company, who do all sorts of gorgeous ones. They are finger puppets, but there's no reason why I can't hold it. And again, perhaps if you are able to, I don't know, these aren't ideal, but maybe you've got this one. That's not my puppy. And maybe you have a little dog or something like that. And every time you say the word dog, we need to, let me see the dog. Oh, we've got a dog. Woof, woof, woof. Let's make loads of noises. So it's a really good way of getting your little one, their hands are occupied, but also it gets them listening to the words. And every time we say red, we're going to shake it up in the air. Every time we say star, we're going to say twinkle, twinkle, little star. Or, you know, you can just do anything, but it gets them involved. It gets them, keeps their imagination. It keeps, it keeps their concentration. It helps them to tune in and yeah, keep their hands occupied, and they can also join in and they can shake whatever they've got in their hand. Or an alternative is having some sort of rattle. I've got an egg here that's got a little bell in it, and get them in the habit of that they ring the bell every time it's the time to turn the page. Why can't I say that this morning? Aldi do have some lovely finger puppets, as do Primark, have some great ones. Normally by the checkout, have some lovely little finger puppets for the bath time, and pretty cheap as well. So lovely little rattle, something like that, and get them in the habit of shaking it, give it a shake, going to turn the page, and let them hold it. So again, they've got something in their hand. You can teach them while you're reading these. And IKEA, someone's saying IKEA got them too, that's right. Hold the rattle in the hand, keep it still. Keep it still. Okay, it's time to turn the page. And they can rattle, rattle, rattle. Okay, let's read the next bit. And it's time to turn the page. And you're just getting them involved, and it's just making story time fun. It's not about pinning your baby down and making, come on, we're going to read this book. If they're not interested, maybe it's time to stop and maybe try it at another time. But really lovely for if you've got some sort of bath time routine going on, or something for settling down for nap time, or when they're waking from a nap and they're still coming round. I used to do my stories then with Maze. And it's just a really nice way of getting them involved. So maybe having some sort of props. Keep it simple. Don't have loads. Don't have one for every character in the story while your baby's young. Just having one simple one. Oh, lovely. Or having some sort of rattle like that can really help. And then another thing, quick gulp before we finish. Another thing, a really nice idea, is that you don't always have to read baby books, guys. They can become a little bit annoying. We have to say it, you know, you've read them 500-600 times. You think, I can't possibly read that book again. I must confess, we have a book that I bought in like a library sale for 20p, and my husband's hidden it because he couldn't bear reading it again. So, you know, there are times that, and I know, you know, this is real life, you just can't possibly read it again. So if we want to, if you're a fan of reading and you want a house or a home where you're trying to develop a love of reading, a passion for reading, it's really important that your baby, your child, sees you reading too, so that they see that there's a purpose for reading. We don't just read for story time, that actually as adults, we read in our everyday life. And we have to maybe make it over the top, be a bit obvious, and show them that I'm just going to read this, you know, to find this out. I'm just going to read this. So there's no reason why you can't hold your baby in close when you're looking for tonight's recipe, thinking, what on earth am I going to cook for dinner? Hold your baby in close. Hello, Olivia. I'll message you soon. You are on my list. Hold your baby in close and say, let's see what we're going to have for dinner tonight. Joe Wicks is going to help us out. Let's have a look in the recipe book. Oh, look at all the food. You know, the pictures are fantastic in a recipe book. You can talk about the ingredients, about going in the kitchen and that sort of stuff. So don't just stick to the baby books, or it will drive you mad. Show them that you read books too. I read recipe books to find out. Maybe you read an instruction manual about your car, or you're going to read the IKEA catalogue because you need to choose a new bed, that sort of thing. Get your baby in close. There's no reason why they can't enjoy it too. I always remember a friend of mine saying about reading knitting, what they call knitting things, not recipes, knitting instructions, things, like a knitting book with her baby, and that's it. Just read whatever interests you, share it with your baby, and let them say it and be like, oh right, what should we have for dinner tonight? Okay, right, what we're going to need, da, 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 da. And you can read it together and go through, and it's absolutely fine. A magazine, yeah, get a magazine involved, anything like that. Brilliant. Any excuse just to hold your baby in close and read it. Pattern, knitting pattern, of course. You can tell I don't knit, can't you? But hold your baby in close and let them share the books that you're interested in. If it's a Screwfix catalogue, read the Screwfix catalogue and get your little baby involved. It just shows them that we read for a purpose as well, and it's about us being a role model. You know, if we want our children to love books and read and have a passion for reading, they need to see us reading too on an everyday basis. So just get in the habit of, oh, I'm just going to read this. I'm just going to read this to find out, or I'm just going to read this to da-da-da. It can all help. Is that all right? Is that okay? Has that been helpful? I'd love to hear if it has. It's all gone quiet. Mine's we're going on a bear hunt to put it away. Yeah, there are books where you just get to the point where you're like, I can't possibly read again. Put it away. And that's a good thing. If you're going on a holiday or anything like that, don't take the book that probably holding this baby close to me. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it on a Monday morning with the sunshine out. It's nice of you to join me. But I do hope you found it useful, because there are lots of ways. And like I said, it's never too late to start reading with your baby. Definitely going to get in hubby to read the Screwfix catalogue later. Yeah, exactly. Get them involved, get the Argos catalogue out, all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much, guys. Lovely to have you here. Brilliant. We'll read to my 3-week-old for the first time today. Oh, well, enjoy, because it's a really, really lovely time. Hold them in close, getting snuggly, getting close. Maybe make a little den, get some cushions around you, and then just enjoy the story, even if it is the lovely Joe Wicks. Whatever you read, enjoy it. All right, thank you very much for joining in. If you do have any fan mail, I'd love some pictures of you reading with your babies. I'd really love to share some of those. So if you do have any, I know it's tricky, I'd love to share them to spread the word about reading with babies. That would be really helpful, but of course, don't worry, got enough to do today. Enjoy your lovely day, enjoy the sunshine, and stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow for Toss But Tuesday, and tonight I'll let you vote on what you'd like to see tomorrow. All right, thank you very much, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye, guys. Whoops. Video. Share. Sorry.